I'm not sure if the banana boat has a secrecy pact, but if it does, Chris Paul might be left on the shore. According to Stephen A. Smith, CP3 has been telling people LeBron wants to go to Los Angeles. Woj says Paul is more concerned with wooing LeBron to come to Houston than his own free agency, but it doesn't sound like it's working. Having this information is pretty surprising considering how tightly LeBron has held his cards every other time he went into free agency. It doesn't tell us very much, but it's 12 days before the start of free agency, and CP3 is telling people in passing it's the closest hint we have to where LeBron will end up. For nearly 2 years, the whispers about LeBron in Los Angeles have been loud, mostly focused on the Lakers, but also with some Clipper talk. Now, Pablo, you've talked to LeBron about his post-career aspirations. They involve Hollywood. But does he need to be in Los Angeles?
Well, LeBron did tell me he wants to play a superhero in the DC universe at some point. We know that he is a media executive. He runs Spring Hill and Uninterrupted, two companies headquartered in Los Angeles. But like a lot of actors live in New York, they live in London. The thing about this story that's interesting to me is, do we trust Chris Paul as somebody who knows anything? Because Bomani, in 2014, you know this story. But LeBron James and Dwayne Wade were on a plane together. Dwayne Wade is his best friend of the Banana Boat crew. Plane goes from Las Vegas to Miami. LeBron James is editing the letter that Lee Jenkins wrote on his behalf, the I'm Coming Home essay, while Dwayne Wade is on the plane.
And didn't tell him a thing.
Didn't know anything. So LeBron James, our hero of the story, he is very good at keeping things quiet.
Right, but Dwayne Wade never felt comfortable saying that he knew anything.
Yes, this is more than we've heard.
Right,
from
but
D-Wade.
that's a huge difference here. So, I mean, for whatever reason Chris Paul thinks this, people have heard this about LeBron and in ways that are not necessarily that far disconnected from LeBron from this point. But to do the things that he wants to do, I don't think you have to be in Los Angeles. Because look, even if those companies are there, when he's playing basketball is going to be the focus, right? Like that's
Imagine
the way
the news cycle if it wasn't.
Yeah, sorry guys, had to miss practice, had a big meeting over at the place.
Yeah, we were doing some casting for the next, season of Survivor's Remorse.
Look, this podcast network is not going to program itself. That's not necessarily going to be it. Like, it doesn't feel like he has to be there. The question that you get to is, does he want to be there? Because LA is one of those places that has a way of making you want to be there. And there is an advantage to physically being in Los Angeles and just the people that you see when you're out and you're doing these things. And if that's what this is, then nobody else in the league has a chance. Like, if that's a big part of the calculus, then he's going to wind up out there.
Where I come in on this story going forward is, we're hearing from Chris Paul's people. What about Kobe's people? Like, doesn't Kobe have some sort of link into understanding how this franchise is going to act? Doesn't he have a stake in wondering how he is affected by all of this? Man, it's nice to live in Los Angeles talk.
What about the last 22 years leads you to believe that Kobe Bryant, talks to people? Right? Like what you're talking about here.
You raise an excellent point.
Right. Now, it's possible, though, his former agent is now the GM of the franchise.
Yes, Rob Pelinka.
So maybe there's some level of conversation that goes on there. But Kobe ain't just getting, Kobe's the dude that says friends. How many of us have them? Didn't he say the friends come and go, but banners are forever?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
yes,
right. So where are Kobe's people? Kobe's people are up there in the rafters. That's where they are.
But we do know, I think one of the things that is safe to assume, speaking of LeBron's media entities, is that this thing will be announced on Uninterrupted.
Yes.
I feel like that is almost a certainty, maybe the only certainty we have in all of this, because, hey, guess what? What other way to drive traffic to your website than through this?
Why would you do that? Like with Sports Illustrated, I felt like the decision going to Sports Illustrated just had a lot to do with I need people to like me again.
Yes. And now the narrative flips back around where it's maybe more fun to do other things.